loves, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to press that notification bell so you can get weekly updates on all of my delicious recipes. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, let everybody know, your friends, your family, that Jackie's cooking. All right, my love, so today we are going to make some delicious, soft, and buttery, beautiful rolls, okay? These are so soft. When I did this recipe, I developed it. It's like a sponge. So we have some flour, we have some milk, we have some butter, we have eggs, we have a little bit of sugar, okay? We have some salt, we have, that's some more salt that we're going to, I'm sorry, that's some more, what is that? Oh, that's milk powder. I am so sorry. That is milk powder. Yes, my loves, that is milk powder, okay? And we have some beautiful dry active yeast, and I have a little bit of water there, okay? So we're gonna need our dry, but I'm gonna proof this yeast. I like to proof my yeast anyway, guys, just to be on the safe side, okay? So let's get to these delicious rolls. All right, my love, so we are going to put our milk into the pot, okay? And then we are going to put this on medium-low heat. We're going to add our butter, and we're going to let this melt slowly. We're not going to boil this, okay? We just want to get it where it melts all the butter, and you'll see the little bubbles around the edge, okay? Okay, so now we are going to proof our yeast. Now, I like to proof my yeast anyway because it'll be a shame if you do all this and the yeast is either dead or it's just not a cute feeling. But I like to proof my yeast anyway. So we're adding our yeast and we're going to add a little bit of water, okay? And now we're going to add sugar, and the reason why I'm adding sugar is because the yeast is going to eat the sugar and it will help activate the yeast as well, okay? So when you see it puffing up, that means your yeast is okay. All right, I do this because imagine you making a whole bunch of this and then all of a sudden you realize your bread is not rising. That's not cute. That is not cute. You have to start all over again. So we have our melted butter and milk and warm mixture, and we're going to add our milk powder. The reason why I add milk powder because it makes it extra soft. We're adding our sugar. Now, if you don't have milk powder, that's fine. You could do this without the milk powder. It'll taste just as good, but I think it tastes even better with the milk powder, okay? But again, you could try it without and try it with, and you'll see which one you really like, okay? All right, so now we're just mixing this together, okay? And we're going to let this cool down until it's like, you know when you test a baby's bottle on your hand, that's the kind of warmth we want, okay? Not too hot, but not too cold, okay? So now I'm going to use a stand mixer because I am just not in the mood to do this by hand. But I am going to show you after this is mixed what you can do, okay? As you can see, I'm adding my wet ingredients into my mixer. I'm adding my yeast. Okay, so just imagine you have your bowl, you're adding all your wet ingredients, and you're just gonna mix it by hand, okay? And then I'll show you how the kneading process, how you would knead this by hand, okay? I'm just, anyway, I'm just not doing it now because I'm lazy, but, we have our egg that we added in here. Okay, and the egg is gonna make it nice and moist and rich. And now we're adding our yeast, and we're going to mix all that together. And loves, when you make this is great for the holidays. especially for the holidays coming up. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all would be like, well, you know what, I'd rather just buy the rolls. But when you make these, trust me, it's easy, simple ingredients. It's not complicated. They're so soft. I'm pretty sure you'll prefer this over the ones you get at the supermarket anytime, okay? And the ingredients are listed in the description box below. Okay, so now we're going to add our flour, simple all-purpose flour, okay? Simple ingredients, okay? Again, like I tell people, if you don't have the milk powder, don't worry about it, okay? But you could always see for yourself, test it, do it without, and do it, because it's good anyway. Okay, I've done it both ways. I just like the milk powder because it adds that extra soft and bounce to it. I love it. So now we're mixing this on high. So if you're doing this by hand, just put everything in the bowl. Like, put your wet mixtures in the bowl, mix them together, then you add your flour, okay, until you get a dough. Now, this dough will be tacky, slight sticky, okay? The reason for that is you have to have it like that in order to obtain the bounciness and the softness that we're looking for, okay? So we want it nicely hydrated, okay? So right now, this is doing the kneading for me. I love this. It took me a minute to get this KitchenAid. These are so good to have. They save you a lot of handwork. Okay, so as you can see, we're mixing this, and what I'm looking for is a slight pull away from the side of the bowl. Okay, so usually I just mix this on high for about 5 minutes. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you as it starts pulling away slightly, you know, because again, do not be tempted to add more flour. Now, this recipe, when I made it, I did 2 cups and 1 tablespoon. I did the extra tablespoon because I was hovering over it, just looking for that right texture and consistency for the dough that I want, okay? So if you're doing this by hand and you need to flour your surface, try to only use that tablespoon, that extra tablespoon of flour when kneading. So you see what's happening right here? Now, at this point, right here, this is when we're like, okay, our dough is basically done, okay? Don't be tempted to add any more flour than this. Okay, you see what's happening? Don't be tempted to add any more flour. When you look at the texture, you see it has such a soft, tacky feeling to it. Okay, and that's what you want. You do not want to add any more flour. If you add more flour, it's not going to be as soft and bouncy and spongy. Okay. Now, for those who don't have a stand mixer, let me show you. If you were to do this by hand, you would put it in the bowl. Like I told you earlier, mix everything together. And let me show you how to knead. You see how I'm doing it? It's like I'm taking the palm of my hand and pushing outwards, and then I'm folding it back towards me, pushing it forward with my palm. See what I'm doing? And folding it back to me, pushing it with my palm and pushing it back and folding it back towards me, pushing it with my palm and folding it back towards me. And you're going to do that since you're doing it by hand. Oh boy, I don't miss those days. I'm sorry. Since you're doing it by hand, I would say about 10 minutes to knead, or until it's nice and smooth. You see that? It kind of looks like a Play-Doh like. See that? Okay, we want that. And now what we're going to do, my loves, we're going to take this beautiful dough. We're going to grease our bowl, the same bowl that I used, okay, with some oil. And the reason for that is so when it rises, it won't stick and be difficult to come out. So I put it bottom so I could get the top part oiled up, and I'm going to flip it, and we're going to put it in the bowl. See how I did that? And we're going to let that rise, okay, covered for at least an hour to an hour and a half in a draft-free place covered, okay? Now, this is our dough, and it has risen. Now, what you can do, my loves, you can make the dough the night before. I don't think there's any problem with doing the night, I don't think there's a problem doing that. As a matter of fact, you'll get that nice yeasty flavor, which will have time to develop even more. So now what we're doing right now, I'm taking a 10-inch pan. I'm buttering my pan. Okay, because now we're going to form the balls for the rolls, okay? This is simple. It's great for Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is coming up. The day after Thanksgiving, you can make sandwiches out of these nice little sliders out of them. These are so good. I was for some reason, I have the gift of dough making. God gave me that talent, and I'm using it. You hear me? So now I'm just taking the dough. I didn't flatten it all the way and I did all that tuluntu. I'm just stretching it out, and I'm going to show you how to cut it so you can get as close to even pieces as you can. Okay, I just stretched it out. You should be able to get 12 pieces out of this recipe. Okay, if you want to double this recipe, by all means, depends on how many people come. So we're going to cut it. I just want to show y'all how I'm going to cut it. I cut it in half. Then I cut the other half in half. And I cut the other half in half. And which each of those, I cut each of those into 3 pieces. You see? Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to turn them into, roll them into nice balls. So you're just going to take one, all right, and you're going to roll it into itself. Just look at my hands and how I'm just tucking it under, keep tucking it under, and until the top looks smooth, right? See what I did? And then I just take it, and with my hand I can make a cuff, and I roll it so it can give me a nice ball. Just like that. Let's do that again. Take it, stretch it, tuck the dough under itself, keep tucking it under itself until you get a nice smooth surface on the dough. Okay, pinch that bottom and make a cuff with your hand and roll it on the surface. And there you go. What you see me using, my loves, is called a Silpat. I love these because these are non-stick. They're good for cookies or if you're making pastries or whatever, because they prevent stuff from sticking, okay? Tuck it under itself until you got a nice smooth surface. Cuff your hand, roll it on the surface like that, and boom. With these rolls, if you want to put, poppy seeds on them, you could do that. But you'll do that after they rise. And I'll show you where you could do all that extra stuff, adding poppy seeds, sesame seeds on them, okay? And we'll do that after they rise, okay? Okay, and I'm going to finish rolling these guys. and we'll be back here. There you go. As you can see, I rolled the dough. Now we're going to place them into our pan, and I'm just going to space them out just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit, so they could have room to rise, because they are going to rise once when we proof it, and then it's going to rise again when we bake it. Okay, don't worry when they stick together. It's good when they stick together because it'll keep it nice and moist. Okay, so this is a 10-inch pan. Okay, so now I'm able to fit 3 in the center. It never fails me. I always get the right measurements when I do this. Okay, okay, we're going to put some of this, the rest of the balls in the center, as you can see, and we're going to put this and let it rise for at least 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, undisturbed. And in the meantime, we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Okay, while that's proofing. Okay, so now we're going to do a little egg wash. I like to do the egg wash because I like the way it makes it look shiny and it helps it brown really nicely. So I'm going to take an egg yolk and add a tablespoon of water to it, and we're going to mix that together, okay? You could use, if you want, you could just use milk, but I like the egg because it just, I don't know, makes it look so fancy and so, I'm extra. I am very extra, and when I'm presenting food, I want you to not just want to eat it. I want it to look just as attractive. So when you see food, the first thing you see is the food. So as you can see, this has risen, and we're going to take this and we're going to take our brush and we're going to lightly brush each of them with this egg wash. Okay, my thing is presentation is extremely important. You don't want it to just taste good, but you want your food to look good, okay? So that's why, call it what you want, Miss Jackie is extra, I must admit, okay? And I'm an artist. Anything when you're dealing with music and food and you're creating, it's an art. It's an art. If you don't put your passion into it, if you don't care about it, it's going to show. So what we're doing, we're brushing it, we're putting this egg wash. And my loves, once you do this egg wash, at this point, this is after that you could sprinkle any poppy seeds or any, I don't know, sesame seeds, whatever you want. And we're going to pop this in the oven after we brush it. And you could put whatever you want to put on it on 400 degrees. Preheated for about 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, really depends on your oven. And as you can see, don't these look beautiful? Now, I am going to take some more butter. That's right. While it's nice and hot, you could take your melted butter, but I just took the butter like that. It was nice and soft. And I just took my brush and brushed it all on these rolls because that butter is going to make it extra soft and it's going to be extra buttery. That's right. Do what I say, and I guarantee you're going to see what I'm talking about. Get in between those grooves. Get in between those nooks and crannies. Make sure this is nice and covered with butter. All right, and my loves, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to press that notification bell for weekly updates on all of my recipes. And I'm so tongue-tied today. I've noticed I get tongue-tied a lot, but that's okay. We're human, right? And don't forget to press that notification bell. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Let everybody know that Miss Jackie is cooking, all right? So as you can see, I'm brushing my butter. The butter's going to melt. If you want, just melt the butter, and then you could do it. But now I want to show you how these look. These make beautiful sliders too. The next day when y'all get up after Thanksgiving and y'all can make cute little sandwiches with the leftover turkey. And look at that. Look at these. These are so, look at that. Yes. My husband begs me to make these. Because one day I said, let me just try to make some rolls from the top of my head, you know, and when I created this, it came out perfect. God's given me a gift, and it's finally time that I'm putting it to use. Look at these beautiful babies. They are so soft. Oh my God, and so light. You are going to curse me out. You're going to be like, Jackie, why are you doing this to me? Why? It's all love, baby. It's all love. But I want you all to try this recipe. Tell me what you think. I need you guys to enjoy the holidays are coming. Even though things might be a little different this year, especially with this whole pandemic thing, but try these. These are absolutely delicious. Eat, Love, Pray. And that's a good movie too to watch with Julia Roberts. Eat, Love, and Pray. All right. Let's share love. Look at those babies right there. Doesn't that look beautiful? Yes, indeed. I want you all to eat and be merry. I love you all, and thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.